Good, good. Yep. Thanks, China, for the GIF. Um, yeah, so today we have only one scheduled speaker, and that's Laggin for Strategachi. So feel free to raise your hand anytime, and I'll get you up here. Uh, let's take a look at these proposals. The numbers have changed a little bit since I posted the agenda. It was like 12 hours ago. So let's see. Um, Closed proposals, we got Agib 135 official DApp, new features added by the DAO by FIFU. That ended 4 days ago. Defining DAO director term lengths and process for future elections. I think that ends in 60 seconds from when I refresh, so that just ended. And enable collateral withdrawal from Aavegotchis without sacrifice. Ended 3 days ago, I believe. Yep. As for the live proposals right now, we got Agip 136, Aavegotchi in the Sandbox, maintenance, renewal, and termination, reviewed budget by the Gotchi Farm. It ends in 18 hours, but it's already met quorum, sitting at 114% right now. And Gotchi Greeters V2, 3 days left on that, but also has already reached quorum with 109%. Um, then we got the renewal and election of DAO facilitator roles, which ends in 6 days. We're at 83% quorum. And finally, actually, we got Strategachi V3 revised. That just went up recently. Ends in 1 week. And it's at 24% quorum currently. And earlier today, Agip 137 just went up. Enable collateral withdrawal from Aavegotchis without sacrifice. So yeah, links to all of those are in the DAO Call Agenda channel. Cool. And I guess with that, we could go into the discussion a little bit. Wagon, you there? Welcome.
I'm here. What's up, guys?
GM. GM,
GM,
GM.
GM. Yeah. Hold on. Just get back up here. Yeah. So the proposal is up, guys. Doing like it's at like 55.1% or something right now. So pretty decent. It's hanging in there. Um, yeah. So we had to change the scope a little bit around because of the feedback basically that we're getting. Um, I'm in a little bit of a pickle. I mean, the DAO is kind of hilarious. Like, if I'm being honest, like we presented a certain plan that was completely like laser focused on generating revenue and acquiring users, and how those two things work together to provide like a continuous loop of both. Um, but the most of the feedback, I mean, I didn't get much feedback, but whatever was coming in was saying it's too expensive, cut it up, break it up into different pieces. So after I did that, the feedback turned into uh like they're like, where's the ROI for the DAO? And then also it's still too expensive. So I really don't know what to do at this point. The more I have to, the only way to reduce costs is to cut things out. Like I can't deliver the sun and the moon and like do it for $5. So it's a little bit of a pickle, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, the prop still has a week left on it, and if it passes, then we'll do the work, and it should be good. But if not, then I'm gonna have to reassess like what to do with Strategachi. Um, if it's worth continuing or if I should try to come up with another plan. I haven't really decided that yet. So I guess that'll determine basically be determined by what happens in this prop. So get your votes in, guys. It's like what are we, 25% quorum right now? I think something like that.
Yeah, it says 2.2 out of 9 right now.
Yeah,
But it is
24%
fairly, yeah, it's pretty new, so that
5%
makes sense.
favor. Yeah, check out the thread. I'll drop the link to the thread. Like,
I could put the link in there.
okay, and, I got it. Cool, you got it before me. No matter which results, let's get straight live on guys with the badge system, gotcha points, etc. I'd love to. I'd love to, Jesse. That's actually that's our main concern right now. So I'll talk a little bit about that. So initially, the plan, like I said, was all about generating revenue and bringing in users. And so um, I'll go over some of the stuff that we had planned. There was going to be 4 NFT drops, and these are going to be like a new type of asset that was going to be like the first of its kind in the protocol. It's a third party DAO developed game creating assets for the bazaar that were going to have utility in our game. And I I spoke to you, Jesse, about this, about adding them in as decos in the Gotchiverse. So you're going to have like voxel art Strategachi decorations, installations on your land. Uh, and we thought that would be cool. Um, on top of that, we had multiple like ongoing token sinks. So just ways for the people to, come in and play. And there's a reason to play the game. You can make a little bit of money um, playing PvP, betting Ghost. The other way was the other token sync was generating maps. So the reason why you would want to hold one of these installations I was talking about is so that you can create you would actually be the one creating the experiences for Strategachi players. That's the idea. So it's like we release these limited edition installations, and anybody who owns that installation can build like a map that uses it. So they'll have different utility. One will be like a weird trap. One will be like a heal zone or some kind of like gameplay affecting um, installation or tile. Yeah. So that was the main thing, was how do we generate revenue and how do we get excitement out. The NFT drop was going to be super marketable. It was going to be a way to generate money. But alas, we had to cut it off because people were like, I put the vote up. I don't know if you guys are aware, but I put the proposal up the way I had intended it. And just judging by the results of like the first couple of hours, I decided to pull it down because like a lot of votes came in and they were all like, no, 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 no. And then there was like 2 or 3 people talking in the thread. They're all saying like, oh, too expensive and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna waste like 2 weeks on this. Let's pull it down. And then I restructured the plan basically to make it more palatable as like an ask, and I cut the cost by about like close to 50%, but like somewhere probably around 40, 50, something like that. So yeah, that's what it's at right now. And right now, basically, since we don't have the funding to do what we want to do, the next best thing is to work on user acquisition and then the way to like retain attention, basically. So the game has proven that it can capture attention. People love the look, they love the game, like, but just like anything else in this ecosystem, if there's no rewards, the attention starts to dry up. So our idea was, okay, let's do everything we can using what we've built so far to really like push the player progression meta, um, give people a reason to play who are not just there for the rewards. But at the same time, we have the gotcha gaming console, and we're gonna and like certain allocation of gotcha points as well that we can give away through the game, as well as like other NFT drops and stuff like that. So there would be like it would be rewards, but not necessarily like huge monetary rewards, but rewards and a reason to play. Like a constant progression where there's like persistent leaderboards, seasonal leaderboards, daily quests, stuff like that, achievements. So yeah, that's the current thing that we're working on right now. That this proposal is basically revolving around. It's setting that up, tying it up into the gotcha gaming console, so that when people come, hopefully they'll have a lot of options of things to do on Geist, and we want to be one of those options. Yeah, that's about it. If there's any questions,
There's one from Coder Dan. He's just saying, can you talk more about specifics of the NFT drop?
yeah, sure. So I'll talk a bit more about it. So the idea was we called them building blocks. And the idea was that it was a pretty cool idea, to be honest. Like I was really excited about it. It was a plan that like everything that we worked on would kind of feed into the next thing, and it was like a three-pronged kind of like love triangle between like creating new assets that are going to be the basis um, for being able to sell assets and generate revenue, being able to have more content in the game, so like cool new things to look at, new visuals, and having providing um, creators with more tools to create new cool shit basically in the game as well. Um, and we figured out that we could actually like monetize like each bit of this in a different way. So we have the NFT sales that are going to be based off of the biome that we're going to create. So for example, the first quarter was supposed to be the dark forest, and then after that was going to be the liquidator ruins. So we're going to create the world. It's going to be a different world. All the assets that come with that. To make a game, you need like floors, you need walls, trees, objects, everything basically, installations, even characters and enemies and stuff like that. So yeah, from that you'd have like the theme of the world, and then in that theme, there would be like a specific, there'd be like a set of these building blocks that are themed accordingly. So there would be the dark forest or like the FUD inspired installation. So one might be like a sticky trap, one might be something like anything that kind of fits within that forest theme, um, where it has some direct effect on the gameplay. It changes the way you move. Like you either you want to get something out of it or you want to avoid it. And yeah, we were going to release four sets of these installations. The idea was to do somewhere between 5 to 10 pieces per drop. Not pieces, but like 5 to 10 different items. Um, yeah, and that would be four NFT drops. So it would be a good way to start generating revenue and a really good way to generate like attention, because nothing quite does it like a sale does. So, I mean, that option is still on the line. I mean, it's still available as something to do. And in fact, in this proposal, we are actually we still are technically are making the building blocks, but I'm not. Um, I don't have it as a NFT sale release, just because like we had to drop the map maker, so I don't want to release the NFT and then it doesn't really have utility, right? Because I don't know about like if the future, if we're gonna get funded or not. So I'm not really certain about that. In the original plan, we had funding for an entire year. It covers the development and the creation of all these things, the implementation of them. So we're going to design it, we're going to develop it, and we're gonna sell the assets. Everything was done. So, but once I had to cut out the map maker and I had to cut out this and that, it didn't really make sense to sell those NFTs anymore. But the good part is that we're still designing them and we're making them. They're going to be in the game. They're just not going to be. They're not going to be sold to to users, and users not going to be able to create maps out of them, but they'll get to play with them in the game. They may show up as installations in the Gotchiverse. I mean, that is a utility, but it's not the full idea that we had in mind.
Did you have any numbers on like what were expected projections for revenue for the sale?
Yeah. Let me see if I can open that up. So a lot of this is the way I did the a lot of it is speculation and guessing, and I based it on like the numbers that you guys Pixelcraft kind of set as a benchmark, as a goal. So acquiring 10,000 users. So the way that I was really conservative about how we are going to estimate it. So I said let's say we get let's say like we hit 15%, somewhere between 15 to 50% of that target. So like 1,500 to 5,000 active users on the network. And given like let's say we grow by around 50% per year, then if we did the like full package that I was asking for, the 12 months, which was like north of 300,000 cost, then the project would pay for itself in like roughly 3 years. Sorry, I'm not finding that thing right now. I think I'm logged into a different user account or something. Or maybe I didn't save it. I don't know. But yeah, that was based on very, very like conservative estimations. So yeah, starting with if we hit 15% of our user acquisition targets and grow by 50% yearly. So yeah, if we reach, or we start off with a higher number than that and we grow quicker, then the project would even pay for itself even quicker.
Yeah, I guess
The map.
well, it's in there,
Sorry.
so I guess we'll see what the DAO thinks of this the latest proposal.
Yeah, we shall see. We got a week left. Oh, here it is. Let me drop a link to it. I found the document. Yeah, so I have projections based on 1,500 active users, 3,000 active users, and 5,000 active users. And I was super conservative. You'll see that the numbers that I put in there, they're pretty like there's a good chance that these things can go a lot higher, but boom. Let me see if I have this share settings turned on so anybody can access. Anyone with the link, yeah. Yeah, so it says values representing project revenue generations based on varying numbers of active users on Geist. Our most conservative estimate we anticipate 15% of the intended DAUs. While the optimistic end, we estimate around 50%. And if we begin with the most conservative estimate and assume a 50% annual increase in activity, the project is projected to fully pay for itself within a 3-year time frame. That's it for me, guys. Unless there's any more
So
questions.
yeah, like with the restructuring of the proposal that you did, you took out the map maker though. That's the tricky part. So like the map maker was supposed to be part of this new like, or like the monetization strategies that you had originally intended for, right?
Yeah. So the map maker ties into the PvP, user generated content, and the NFT sales. So it all kind of worked together. It was like one big kind of cohesive plan, and everything, each step of the way, like was focused on getting users, making money. but these things, I mean, these things cost money. Like it takes it takes a lot to get like a team of people that know what they're doing to do good work basically, and you got to pay for that work. And it's not, I'm not the one developing. I'm not a developer. I'm the game designer, the project manager. So I need to hire good people that know what they're doing. And the team that I put together are rock stars, honestly. Um, they really know what they're doing, and they fill in where I'm lacking really well. And together we can create some cool stuff. But yeah, people are saying that it's too expensive. So I don't. I mean, too expensive compared to what? I keep having to compare. People don't like it when I compare, but I have to go back and say like too expensive compared to what? Like who else is producing what we're producing for cheaper? The simple answer is nobody is. Not any of the DAO games and not Pixelcraft. So I think our costs are very realistic. In fact, like if you compare it to any other of the big projects that we've been funding, you'll see that we're working at a very efficient, like in a very efficient manner. Like our we're 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 stretching out the dollars pretty well compared to what the norm is, I'd say. Uh, like so, yeah. I don't know what to say about that, honestly. It is what it is, and there's a week left, so we'll see what happens, basically. Uh, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Let's see if there's anything in the chat. No. Okay. Well, cool. Yeah. So there's a week left on that. It ends on December 2nd. Thank you, Foreign, for the link. What else? What else we got? There were a couple of discussions in the forum. I was hoping someone would want to come up and talk about them. Uh, there's been some talk about rarity farming, and yeah, pretty much just rarity farming actually, because there's like three different threads about rarity farming. One of them is the future of RF. We got a rarity farming season 10 discussion, and protecting and scheduling 4 more seasons of rarity farming as we know it. So if you haven't checked out those discussions, do that. Get involved. You know, I think it's good to get your opinions in these threads. So that we'll have kind of something to discuss at these calls. A lot of times, I feel like authors of proposals are kind of like surprised because there isn't any like immediate feedback, or like there isn't much feedback sometimes before a proposal goes up. So like they'll start the thread to like kick off a discussion before posting a proposal. Sometimes it's like one or two people kind of chiming in. So, the author is left to think, well, okay, I think I'm good. And then you can go and get like surprised with, you know, feedback and comments in the actual vote. So, I mean, it helps people. Um, it'll probably make for better proposals too if those discussions are a bit more lively. So, like, get in there and just kind of participate in what you care about. There's a lot of different discussions happening at any given time. So I'm just trying to encourage everyone to get in where you fit in, kind of. Yeah. Anybody got anything else?
Yeah, I'll just give a quick update on it's now core prop 137, enable collateral withdrawal from Aavegotchis without sacrifice. The core prop is live now, and we are we're already starting to implement the functionality so that it should be ready in time if the proposal does pass with quorum. wanted to give everyone an update on that. So basically, the flow. This might be interesting to hear some feedback on. The flow that we're currently planning is we will have a withdraw collateral button on the UI, but we're also going to automatically return your collateral from your Gotchi when you bridge it to Geist from Polygon. So there's no way that it would lock the collateral and you'd have to like bridge back. I'm just curious what people think of that. Do you like that? Would you prefer to not have it auto withdraw? Or are you happy like less work? It just gets withdrawn back to your wallet. And then for the Ma tokens, we will continue to do we'll handle the OTC part for that. Nice idea. Maybe make it an option. Yeah, we could make it an option. It's just a little bit more, coding and setup to do. Is there a scenario where you'd really want to keep your AM tokens in your Gotchi on Geist? Got ghost tokens inside our Gotchi's pockets. That currently it's set up to do the same. So if there's any ghost in the Gotchi's pocket, when you bridge it, it would get returned back to the owner. That one is a little bit more controversial, though. I could see, but I'm curious what people think. Do you want to lock your ghost on Polygon when you bridge it, or would you just prefer to not have to think about it and it gets auto transferred back to you when you bridge? I don't know why you'd really want to keep Ghost in your pocket on Polygon.
Question, Coder Dan. If you auto transfer, would that create a taxable event for the people who are trying to avoid that by holding the ghost
That would be
inside
the
of the Gotchi?
only case where you might want to hold it. Yeah, I guess it would. I mean, I'm not a tax lawyer, so tax lawyer might say the moment you received it in your Gotchi that it's yours. So I don't know about that. It might like just because it's in your Gotchi doesn't mean that you don't own it as a if the IRS comes after you. So can't give financial advice on that. I've never really bought into that idea that putting it in the Gotchi means that you don't have to pay taxes on it, or like the Gotchi received it. I didn't receive it. I'm not sure that that'll stand up in the if the IRS audits you. Does anyone really want to keep the ghost inside their Gotchi when you bridge it? I mean, yeah, Thrax, talk to a tax lawyer. Depends on your jurisdiction, probably. I think that it's most likely if we're being serious, it's probably a taxable event when you receive it to your Gotchi. Cool. All right. Well, yeah, that's all I had on that. So we're actively working on preparing that for everyone. And currently we're planning to have the Gotchis, like we're finishing up all the bridging basically this week now that Gotchi Points is live. Alchemica bridging is live. It's been a ton of work. So happy to finally have most of that behind us. The chain is up. And we're just working on Gotchi bridging right now, trying to get everything done this month in time for having the Gotchiverse party at the beginning of next month. Yes, it is hitting your wallet, Los Local. So
Sounds good. Are there some live streams or some events that are happening now right after the call? I think there was a tweet about Aavegotchi at some. Oh yeah, so we got Gotchi Battler. I think they're doing something. Is that today, Brills? I think there's a call, and I think there's all right, yeah. So right after the call on the Gotchi Battler Discord server, there is an event happening, and yeah, a chance to win the fake Gotchi that won their competition, and that was made by Thrax. I saw something on Twitter too. That I'm pretty sure it's after this call. It said Aavegotchi is part of some panel. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Oh, like
I'll try to-
bullish. Yeah, it was the bullish panel.
Oh yeah,
Is that
that-
the? I know I have a space coming up at an hour
That's the
after
one.
the hangout, so it might be that one. I'm sorry, I wasn't sure what the actual title was, but yeah, we're doing a space at noon EST.
excellent, cool. Yeah, if anyone could drop a link to that in here, that would be great.
Dan, can we see the GBS in Q1? I think the probability of that is very high. Like farming release, we don't have any blockers, so farming will be done in December, from what I've heard from the team most recently. And then literally the next thing we want to start doing is adding, gameplay for parcels. So I think there's a very good chance we see GBS in late January or February, like a initial version of it where you can actually fight liquidators on your parcel, and it'll be a team game, so you can bring a couple friends together and play. I don't see any blockers for that. Like the team has basically mastered the Unity architecture. The latest builds they've been doing. They've been like what do you call it? Like using like 60 to 70 gotchi clones just to simulate server activity, and it's been really smooth. So yeah, I don't really see any major blockers. Like Gotchiverse team is much is like in a much better spot than we ever were with the 2D at this point. Pretty cool. Is there any other DAO topics, or are we good?
Yeah, I think we're good. Just check the chat for a bit, see if there's anything else, but I think that's it. So you got the yeah.
Just gonna shout out to the Gotchi Greedors V2, did pass. Congrats on that with the SIG prop. So we'll promote that to core prop as soon as possible. Very cool to see that.
How does that work, by the way? If you post a proposal and it passes, do you just like repost it and put Agip in the title, or
before we had to post it for you, but actually now if your proposal passes, and generally I think most people are waiting until the proposal actually does finish, so because this one has 3 days left. So once it finishes, Light Piglet or Lost Local or whoever could actually just make a prop, because everyone's on the core list now, because before it was only us on the core list, and then we started getting spams, so we started adding everyone to the core list to put them on the allow list. So yeah, anyone can make a core proposal now.
excellent, good
Yeah,
to know.
you guys are allowed to do it now, as long as it's finished and has passed and everything is according to the template.
Congratulations, greeters. Yeah, I don't know what went wrong the first time around, but I'm glad they reposted the proposal and it went through with flying colors. Yeah, good job. Yeah, so we got the Gotchi Battler event in 22 minutes. Thanks for the links, Brills. Then there's that Twitter event that's posted up there, the Twitter space. And also the Stratagotchi week 4 of the November Rewards Challenge starts in about an hour and a half. That's when week 3 finishes and week 4 begins. So last week, probably the biggest ghost prizes. So yeah, if you're in there grinding for those rewards, you know, this is the last week to do it. Get those games in. But other than that, that's all I got.
I got a little question for people as we're chilling here for a few minutes. We're working on a new little GIF collection that is, you probably saw the GM GIF. We got a new partner we're working with. Zbot and I are working with them directly. They're very talented. And we have a long list of GIF ideas. Some are kind of more normie friendly, some are more crypto inspired. Personally, I love the more crypto inspired side. That's what I am really excited about. But I'm curious here in the chat, what are some GIFs that you would love to see made as a gotchi? It could be like normal GIFs redone as a gotchi. It could be, any or like new ideas that you'd like to see a gotchi.
The Agachi like waving the credit card, like just take my money kind of thing, like the Fry from Futurama with that could also work. What else would I do? I know he's out of style right now because of his most current conviction, but the Conor McGregor with the money flowing and the crown and the cape thing, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make a list here of noting when I ask the question in the chat here, so we can come back to this later. Yeah, but it could be basically. I mean, I think we want them to be. What I'm personally aiming for is to be relevant to crypto crypto people, like stuff that you're chatting in a group chat and you might search it and it comes up and you don't even know what Aavegotchi is, but hey, this is kind of cute. I'm going to use that one. Basically, that's what we're aiming for.
The he bought in, dump it meme, that would be really cool.
Bogged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pump it. Yeah. We've covered a lot of these already on actually in our initial list. Thrax, that one's pretty fun. Is that a Walter? Yeah, the money printer. Yeah, these are all. What about anyone have any like ideas for kind of more recent, like more crypto relevant ones that people might, you're kind of in the trenches just chatting with each other, and you might want to use some gifs that are relevant to what you're talking about. BitConnect. It's going to be a really cool collection. Like I'm really. You guys think the GM one is good? I mean, it is, but the quality here is going to be amazing, and I think these are gonna, if done right, like we can definitely start getting a totally new audience for the Aavegotchi IP with these, and have a nice kind of IP funnel.
I know you guys are saying gifts, but also some of the images, like there's the one Padme where she's like, with
Yeah.
talking to Anakin, and it's like you did that, right? Right? Like one of those would be kind of cool static images.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Some meme templates, like well done meme templates.
Also, the Gachi riding a bike and then sticking the stick into his own wheel.
Yeah.
Like I leveraged trade and got liquidated.
It's surprising. Like, it's really interesting. The bar for this is like it's really actually quite low. I mean, Pudgy has done a great job with it, but beyond them, have you guys seen any really like well done, well executed kind of IPs that are like that have a good breadth, not just having like a few images here and there, but like actually having a decent library. Have you guys seen any good ones like
There's
NFT
a
or
meme
crypto
token
projects?
on Polygon called Tryon, and they're small. They're small market cap, but they've already received like 2 billion views on their gifts, and they probably have hundreds of them. So their IP is very distinguished, like not distinguished, but distinguishable, and they've like done a really good job of getting their stuff out there. It's very niche because it's Polygon, but like they've done really well with like pushing that
Mhm.
out into like the ecosystem.
What is it called? Tryon? Tryon. Like cyan, kind of super cyan, or let's see.
Yeah, it's like I think their account's called Rich or Die Tryon, and like it's this
Okay.
weird yellow character. They just actually released the NFT. It's also Gone. Gone has done really well with their gifts, but they also like they're extreme. I love it.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, we're all these will be made into stickers as well. Like especially like the ones that make sense as stickers will also be made into stickers. And Orb, not on my radar. I know it's part of Lens, but I didn't know they had sticker packs over there. Can definitely look into. We want these to be everywhere. So if there's a platform you want to see the stickers on, we'll get them on there.
Yeah, I think it would be cool to do from the Aavegotchi account. I know it's not probably
Yeah.
that active, but just to make it official, uh, yeah, Orb. There's been a lot of hype recently about their sticker packs. I guess it came with their update to the app. It's basically a Lens client, but they have user generated sticker packs, and there's like a marketplace for it. And for whatever, I mean, they're doing uh, pretty good. It's like people are buying them and they're using them in the app. So it's I think it would be a good place for them to live. We have most of the stickers. Like I'm thinking about the stuff that's already in the Discord server. Like those
Yeah.
would be fantastic. Yeah, something to
So
think
we just
about.
need to go on to Orb and what do we do? Like we add them or mint them? How does that work?
Yeah, no, there's literally a button right there on their main UI, which takes you to like the I guess it's the storefront for the stickers, but then it also has like a link to where you can submit your own pack.
Cool.
And yeah, it just has like the the requirements, file size, all that. Seems pretty easy though. Like a lot of people are using it.
Is my mic working now? I was.
There you go.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Oh no, I was going to mention. The Seals do a pretty good job, I think, with social content. They've gotten some traction on TikTok and Instagram lately, so they might be a good one to look at as well.
Yeah. A lot of those they do. Are they doing like Pudgy's is doing literally full stories on Instagram? Are they also doing that, or are they just doing like simple gifts? We're gonna eventually get to stories, but we're gonna start with gifts first.
Yeah, it's a hybrid, but they do the
Yeah.
stories and then yeah, and real quick, while I've got everyone, just another call to action for community members that might be interested in coming down to Miami for Art Basel. We're going to have quite a bit going on the 7th. It just so happens to line up with the launch of the Gotchiverse, but we'll be hosting a hybrid IRL and virtual Gotchi Guardians tournament with Catalyst OG. So there'll be 3 people playing live from our event at the gates, and then there'll also be the opportunity to participate virtually. And we'll have some ghost prizes, and everything will be live streamed. So keep an eye out for that this week. We'll be promoting that. But if you're considering coming down to Miami, there'll be a preliminary qualifier, and the top 3 places will be able to play live at the event. So something to keep an eye out for.
Light Piglet, the launch, the party was they're gonna have it ready by the 30th, but because the gotchis are not gonna, like, it's not possible to bridge until we launch that bridge, they're gonna give 1 more week so people have time to actually get their gotchis on the Geist. Not that you won't have to have it, but it'll be definitely cooler to have your gotchi on Geist if you're in the gotchiverse. Well, cool, friends. If there's nothing else, I'm gonna get to sleep earlier. Got another fun day of coding tomorrow as we get through all this migration stuff and get Geist live. But very, very exciting stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you, everybody. Get your votes in on those live proposals. Check out the discussions, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Sweet. GN.
GN friends.